What's up, everyone? How is everybody doing today? Let me know where you're at, what you're seeing, where you're from. Love to know where you're at, what you're looking at, and a little bit of jazzy to start. You know, get the jazz hands and stuff. But really, today it's all about what's happening in the market and is the parachain narrative going to drive us forward and actually make me bullish again? So I'm going to give you guys my perspective as to what the parachains are actually doing, as to what's going on. And yeah, I got a little shave. I felt like I was a little bit too hairy in the face and in the head. So let's do our normal thing. Let me throw these bad boys on and let's get into crypto, because Kusama is our big narrative right now. We're going to focus on Kusama. We're going to focus on some other things that came up even as recent as today, as to some pretty cool information that we're starting to see. So I've been noticing that there's some really positive news lately, and I don't basically, I'm the type of person, when I see positive news, that we're really going to be there. And so what I want to show you is this news that you all look at and believe in. You're getting played, okay? You're getting played by the whales. The whales are playing you. Now, War today was out of, he didn't have internet connection. So I couldn't get him in today to show you guys that, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's not much bullishness in this market, and we're going to look at why. So everyone always tells you, you know, oh, we're bullish, we're bearish, but they'll give you reasons why, or factors when you should be bullish and shouldn't be bearish. So, well, let's look at it again today and see what's going on. Actually, I've been watching the market, and there's some pretty decent alt trade setups starting to show. But are we getting banter be clickbaiting? I don't know. Anyways, I'm never going to hit on banter. Those guys are my friends. I'll be on there tomorrow. So don't miss it. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take off one of these bad boys and put on our charts, because everyone always wants to know. What do you guys want to know? What do you want to know? Tell me. Come on. You tell me. Click that like and tell me. I'll do my best thing. Yo, guys, you know you have to like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. I'm not really good at that shill stuff because I just don't care enough. I just don't care to be cool enough, all right? And so we're back on the charts. Now, let me just quickly look at what's going on here. So many of you here from all around the world. Great. Welcome, everyone. Remember, glasses if you mail the team. Don't mail me, mail my team. Coach K Crypto Team at Gmail. And we are going to do a monthly end of month draw, which will give the 2 people who already won fair and square and 8 other people a chance to win. And we're going to just basically go to the mailbox and fire those out everywhere. It's going to be fun. All right. Welcome, San Francisco. Welcome, Cleveland, the UK, Germany, all over the world, Indonesia, to New Zealand. What is up, my friends? Is it a bull trap? Well, a couple factors here. Chainx, PCX seems under the radar. Definitely. One of those parachain type projects, which I'm telling you right now, Chainx is it's gonna come out of nowhere and it's gonna slap you in the face. I'll tell you right now. Okay, hey in Thailand, what's up, guy? BNB, where are we at, coach? Okay, so let's look at what's going on, and let's look at the fact that if you guys are gonna ask me about coins that were low cap raises that are wrecked, they're probably not going to come back. If you didn't take initial on those types of coins and you're stuck, they might come back on a relief bounce, but I don't know if a lot of the DeFi sort of like projects that do a lot of the same stuff are going to come back. So let's be real with you, because I'm the only one who will tell you when it's bearish, even though you don't want to hear it, that we're still bearish. Okay. That's a fact. Where will we get a little bit more interesting? That's what you want to know. So let's look at it. Let's look at what you want to know. So jumping into the charts now, because this is really why you're here. What do we see in this chart? Well, I drew a nice little trend line for you guys, and it's not a perfectly drawn trend line. I did not draw it on the daily, but what I wanted to show you is there's clearly a level here which does not let us break yet. And there's 2 levels of resistance on the daily that we ran into. The first one we ran into was the 21 EMA. The 21 EMA is getting flatter now. What did I talk about? I said if we're going to get flatter, then we can get out of this eventually. But what else did I say? We're likely going to see it bounce down, up, down, up, down, up. We're going to range, right? So it's not out of the question to continue doing this for a little bit of time. So are we bullish or bearish? We're neither. Let me put that in a better way. Are we bullish or bearish? Technically, from a technical perspective, not caring about fundamentals, not caring about data, not caring about anything. Anyone who looks at this chart that does not know it's Bitcoin would tell you this chart is bearish. Anyone, every single trader I know that I would consider an actual professional would tell you this is a bearish chart. So are we bullish yet? No. Is there some nice signs of healthy recovery? Kind of a bounce. Pretty nice bounce. Pretty decent recovery. But we've had these types of candles happen before. And we've had the exact same type of candle come right back up and tap the top of this level. And what happened? It sent it back down. So that doesn't mean we can't break it, but it means that we keep running into this clear, horizontal resistance, or diagonal resistance, and we're not breaking it. Now, what happens if we break it? So here's where the fake out will happen. And why am I calling it a fake out? Well, let me show you what happens when there's a fake out so you understand what to look for. So a lot of people just draw these levels. They draw like a diagonal. Great. But they don't look all the way back and go, where was levels of resistance in the past / support in the past? We don't have much from this high up, so we only have what we have. But we can clearly see that every time it came up to this level before, about 39,400, 39,300 in this level, it's rejected it in the past. And what did it do this time? It's been rejecting it again. Very common, okay? So what would we be looking for if all of a sudden this is what will happen? This is a perfect fake out. If you want to learn what a fake out looks like, this is what it is. You come in, you break out, people get excited. Then we retest that right as we're supposed to. But here's the key kicker. It could easily wick up here and then break back down. And that's what I would expect to happen here, okay? Because I'm not convinced until we break above 42 and retest it that we're going to actually get above the cloud again. And I still think that will take a little bit of time. Now, let me give you the positive side of this just before I answer any questions, because I want to give you guys the full picture so you understand what to look for. So let's take away all of that. What's the really bullish case that could happen here? It's not super bullish, but what would give me a neutral feeling versus being quite bearish? This is what I'd be looking for. A break, a retest, a break, and then for us to range in here till about July, and then us to crack into the cloud and break on the other side. That is the bull case. If you want a bull market to be here, we have to be up there. We cannot be down here. And if you understand that, and you understand now what to look for, your life just became a hell of a lot easier. Because now you know, likely there's that scenario. Either we reject and come back down again, which is basically going to give us some fuel to break up. So that's a good thing. But we might break down again. Or we get a fake out first, then a breakdown. Or we get the actual, okay, we're really actually coming with volume. The volume will increase, right? You'll see this number go up. This bar will become populated quite high. It'll be up there maybe. And then we can say, okay, we're starting to look more bullish. The volume is increasing. We broke out of the level. We broke resistance that's been held in the past. Now we start feeling pretty good. Okay, now we start going, okay, maybe we're doing okay. So coach turns to neutral coach. And then what happens? We range and we break into the cloud. Coach turns into looking for a macro trend in a macro trend change. Basically, we break in and onto the other side of the cloud. Then coach gets bullish. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Any questions that you guys have? What's up, Toronto, Paris, Arkansas, Colorado, San Diego? Lots of Americans here today. Great on. I love that. All right, we have a new channel member. Kadeem, nice to have you here. Great to add new members to the family. Now, what do we got here? Crabbish. We are crabbish. Let's bring more people here and like it. Yeah, guys, help me help you. Like, share, subscribe, etc. I know sometimes other people have shows in this time, so no worries. I'm just going to give it to you guys the way you want it, raw and real. KSM went 450. When should you buy it back? Well, looking at KSM, let me just give you some perspective here. So we say, okay, yeah, I sold my KSM at 450. Why? Where at 450? So maybe, I mean, I would understand maybe if you sold it around here at about 450, maybe you did probably sell it right around the resistance, I'm assuming. But what you needed to look at was the volume in the candle before was massive compared to the whole week before it. So that was your indication, your early indication. Volume always comes in early and then moves after. Usually, not always, but almost always, you see volume start to pile in before the price reacts. So this was a good indicator right here to go, oh, maybe it's going to have a pretty strong candle, sorry, volume in that candle, sorry, brain totally farted there. But so then we had a 3 inside up. So even at 450, you would know that's going to close as a 3 inside up on the daily, off of the Kumo top, off of the Kijin, off of the 21 EMA, off of the Tenkin. There's so much support there, you should have stayed long. Absolutely, we're above the cloud, we're bullish, and you close your trade. Well, we're looking for at least 600. You should have waited. But that being said, it is what it is, and it happened and it's done. So you broke out here. Where are we going to look to come back down to? Well, right now, basically, we would just draw a level right here and say around $420. If it's going to come back down, it's likely to come around to $423. So that is where you would like to enter again if you're looking to get into KSM. And then obviously looking down here would be another level, and then even more lower. Okay, how long will parachains last? Do we take profit? Parachains are going to keep coming. Think of parachains as like a side chain for dot, kind of like a the way it should be thought, honestly, is like a test chain for dot. It's supposed to be a test chain for dot, but dot's taking so long that it's actually becoming the chain. So it's really cool. I remember buying KSM at like $2, man, and it's just one of those coins where you didn't know what was gonna happen, but it was great. Now, what are we looking at after the fact? So KSM is going towards that level again, around $600, and this time, with parachains, with people having to buy and lock up KSM in those parachains and dot, I think we're going to start to see a lot more KSM movement. Maybe it won't happen all at once. Maybe it won't happen in a day, but you need KSM. There's a limited amount of KSM, and you got to lock up KSM. And that's a recipe for moonage, straight up. Okay, this channel should be watched 5 times more than Crypto Banter. No, that's not hate Calgary. You know what? Look, Crypto Banter is awesome. They have a lot of great stuff that they're doing, and Rand's a friend of mine, so I'm never ever going to talk badly about those guys. You know what I mean? They're friends. We don't have to be against Rand or Banter or whatever. You guys should all be watching as much content as you have, and you watch whoever you want. Because the thing with me that you'll learn is I'm going to keep it real and say all the stuff you don't want to hear, because I'm going to tell you as it is, and a lot of people don't like that, you know? And you know, other influencers have actually said this really openly recently. They've been like, yo, I don't like being bearish. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, every time I'm bearish, no one watches our show anymore and blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, if you stay bearish and the market goes down and you're right, it's much better to be right and help people not lose money than to tell them what they want to hear, right? And so that's not any influencer, that's all influencers, because they get sucked into this, like they get forced that they're supposed to be positive all the time, and that's what you want to hear. And unfortunately, because of that, there's an extra added pressure. There's people always asking you to do stuff, and that I actually have told projects this week that like I'm not promoting anything that like I don't personally think that right now I would be promoting and wanting to buy myself. So there's been like 1 or 2 posts that I posted about projects that I actually think are great. And most of the projects I'm posting about right now, they're farming opportunities. You don't even have to put money into them. You can just farm them. So this is the stuff that I try to help you guys with so that you are always on the right side, because I don't like people losing money. I want you guys to make as much money as possible. And everyone that's in my inner circle, every one of them. And eventually you guys will be in that inner circle too if you're here, right? But all those people in the inner circle, they became very successful. And it was because I want them to be successful. I could have been very greedy in my life, but it sucks to be a greedy person and not have friends. So that's why I'm nice to everybody. There's no need to hate. No need to be a hater, bro. Life is good. So looking at KSM, it looks good. Now, what is my watch list? So I have a watch list today. This one was definitely on my watch list. Why? I saw the trend, higher lows, right? 1, 2, 3, very good. Then I went down to the 4 hour. I said, okay, well, if it's starting to trend up, what's it doing from here? Well, we had a Kumo breakout and a retest. And since that retest, what happened? It went up 21% in 12 hours. Pretty good for one day trade, isn't it? And if people are asking, well, Coach, where are you taking profit? Well, I already took profit. Boom. Whereas next time, just draw levels, guys. This is so simple. We go all the way back. We look at the chart. We go on the daily, right? So we get a pretty clear level. Let me just get rid of this. Hold on a sec. Stuff that's in the way. And look, where is like a level that it generally rejected in the past? Right around where it's at right now. Right now is a level where it rejected. So if this closes above where it's at right now, above the 200 EMA on the daily, well, likely that's probably a nice short-term trade to keep going higher all the way up to what did I always tell you guys? When we have a flat Kijin, the price will pull up. Always. Not always. Sometimes it will come down, but look, flat Kijin, a perfect example on metal right now. Flat Kijin, the price pulled all the way up. And this is not like, okay, coach, like blah, blah. So it was flat for one day here. So you could have said, okay, if it bounces off that, look at that. 73% in like one day. This is on the daily chart. Easy money. Let's have a look here. I think I just accidentally opened a trade or something. Anyways, that doesn't matter. Here's a chart that's actually kind of, sort of, a little bit bullish. Why? We're above the cloud, but we have a bearish TK cross. The Chiku span is just above the candlestick, so this is not a good trade at all. We have to wait for a bit to see if this confirms that it's actually bullish. So on the 4 hour, it looks like we have a bull flag, right? And, you know, we really probably could trade this once it breaks above this level right here. So I would look at 90, between 96 and 98 cents would be if it breaks above and retests. So again, we always talk about break above, retest. Then we'd enter on that retest. That would be a good place to go. All right. So many questions, guys. I'm sorry I did not see all of them. I'm trying to focus. So, hello from Dubai. What up, Dubai, my friends and fam? Banter hard. I love them. I love them too. Everyone, you know what? It's great to have friends to just talk to and just, it's great. They get lost in the sauce. Coach, can I address the KSM starter FUD? So, here's the thing. KSM, I'll give you guys both perspectives. So people that are hardcore into KSM, into Kusama, there's two pieces to this. Number one, the people that are really hardcore into Kusama believe Kusama parachains are the only way that projects should be able to get onto Kusama. But that actually is not true. You can still build on Kusama like you can build on anything else. You could just build on Kusama. And the reality is the crowd loans could only satisfy so many projects. So I get why some people dislike the concept because there's the whole crowd loan setup. So I understand that, but I don't understand the super duper harshness of the way it's been played out. But again, I am very, I'm not going to get caught up in that drama. I'm just going to probably stay away from it and be like, you know what? They want to be angry and upset. That's fine. Let them do that. That's not going to affect my life. So it shouldn't affect any of yours. But ultimately, my view on KSM starter is this. People really love parachains and believe that's the only way for KSM projects to be on KSM. That's not actually true, factually. And a lot of the KSM projects that can't afford to get on a parachain because basically it's crowd loans and stuff, they end up getting left out and maybe some good projects would. So what KSM starter is supposed to be, same as Tron starter and cards, until those blockchains are actually ready. They're supposed to be that placeholder, so when they are ready, that they're the launch pad or whatever. So that is the concept behind it. I mean, we had Polka starter. I didn't see anyone bitching about that. And Polka starter is not on DOT. So I didn't see anyone get so upset about that while they were making all their money. But you know, like, I just don't get involved in the drama. It's not worth it, guys. So other bullish charts, we have our Sol chart still doing quite nice in there. And you know, it's kind of double topped, to be honest. So it might be something where if you're in a trade right now and you're up, let's say, what is this? And you're up 6.5%, you may, you know, put a stop loss in profit, at least at the bottom down level here around $40, because that's what would protect your capital that you've already gained. Okay. And now DOT, we must watch too. Now DOT is still bearish, right? It's still bearish. It's got a lot of resistance hitting it right now, but we have a flat Kijun and it might want to pull up there. So we could look for $28 to $31. Remember, we get above this really weak looking cloud here, and we're starting to look from bear to bull. So not so bad overall. Hey, would you say anything under $1 is a good entry for FXF? Yeah, really, it is. I had a really good call with their team yesterday, and yeah, there's some really good stuff coming up. You guys, you know, by the way, if you go into fxf.com, you can sign up to the demo, and that will actually let you pre-KYC, pre-register, and then when the platform goes live, you'll be like ready to go. So just check that out. I'm not getting referral links. I don't care. Just go sign up. Pancake Bunny, will it recover? I don't think so. Too much money was hacked out of that from the flash loan issue, and that it's really hard to come back from that because someone's money has to come in, right? And where is that money coming from? It's not. So that's the issue that I foresee coming up, that, yeah, it's just going to be really hard for them. Now, I did find a really cool project, and I want to share this. I want to share this because I am very big into VR, and I have my own setup, and I really love the games. I got my kids starting to just play with it. This is a really interesting project called Polyverse. What they're doing is basically making a real, like, Ready Player One style metaverse. Really cool stuff, man. If you guys like stuff for long term, this is the cool things that you like. If you watched the movie Ready Player One and saw how realistic the avatars were and stuff, this is what's coming for them. So this is one of the ones that they have, like, their team has Facebook and Google and Polygon, and they won a Filecoin. They won like this big Filecoin grant. They also got like people from Oculus and Unreal Engine. So I'm really excited about this project. Just wanted to share it. Not even in it right now myself, but I just saw it and I thought it was really cool. If any of you guys are really big into like the Ready Player One stuff, that is something that I'm keeping my eyes on, because I just think it's cool, to be really honest. How to join the coach circle, we'll let you know. Right now, we're not opening it up. What's your take on DOT isn't following KSM in its upward movement? I actually think DOT is following KSM in its upward movement, because if we go and look at KSM right here, and then we go and look at DOT is still, but it's just slower. Maybe more people had DOT. DOT has more tokens than KSM, right? So that might be a factor. But people are locking up more KSM. KSM is what they're looking at. They're looking at Kusama, Parachains. Now, will Parachains actually push the bull market forward? I don't think so. I really don't think that will be the catalyst. And why I don't think it's the catalyst is a very simple answer. It's that is only one ecosystem. That ecosystem doesn't really have that much to do with Bitcoin specifically. That ecosystem has a ton of different types of projects. They even have ways to pay with Standard, for example, their own cryptocurrency. My camera does this weird thing where it unfocuses on its own out of nowhere. Anyways, you know, this is the stuff that we all look at and we're like, okay, we understand it. This makes sense. Turn this thing off. All right. Boom. Okay, cool. Questions. What do you think of the entry into Freeway right now? Freeway, honestly, guys, let me put it to you this way. I invested in equity in Freeway token. I invested in more Freeway tokens. And I'll tell you why. They have a team that I know personally that are trading, that are doing, everyone said like, oh, how do you know they're going to be able to do these percentages? I know the team. I know the team. I know the actual people doing it. They are real. They are top notch. Top notch. They definitely crush the numbers that they're showing you. Honestly, I think they could crush those numbers if they wanted to. So Freeway token's a great project because you need Freeway token to supercharge your investment. And so if you put in 10 grand and you're getting 40% a year or 30% a year, or you're getting 20% in ETH a year or 33% in Bitcoin extra a year, that's hella good. People are used to 10%. So holding FWT gives you the supercharger and gets you in. So I don't understand why you wouldn't. And remember the one fact that matters the most, that every time there's a transaction and there's a fee, 80% goes into buying back the underlying assets. So that will go up more over time. They actually have a new rebrand I saw coming out. Keep your eyes out for Orbit. Honestly, I'm really bullish on them, and there's a really good reason to be bullish on them. They are a powerhouse that's very much underneath the radar. Okay, so I'll look at this on a chart just really quickly. Let's look at Freeway token. But from a fundamental perspective and from the fact they're actually going to make people money, yeah, pretty good opportunity there. And is it the bottom? Yeah, very much looks like a good entry point right now. If you're looking at Freeway token and you were like, I don't know if I should go in, this is probably the bottom. Very likely. It's got the one. It's actually like a triple bottom, right? It had a double top, and now it's had like a one, two, three, four, almost. Like, I think it's gonna, if it's gonna go, it's gonna go soon, and they have lots of bullish stuff coming. That's funny. Kevin's right. So Banter, if you shill a token with sub 300k subs, it's a good way to make some money. I guess so. I don't know. Honestly, like, everyone's doing similar stuff when it comes to that, so we can't really be hating on one person or another. Coach, CCI launching in a half an hour. Dex on Solana. Am I bullish? Yes, I'm an investor in CCAI. I believe that this project's going to do well, but I also believe that all exchange tokens, all of them, take time. Look at all the tokens. FTX took time, but it mooned. Binance took time, but it mooned. KCS took time, but it mooned. Bitmax took time, but it mooned. Huobi token took time, but it mooned. OKB took time, but it mooned. So if you know you can get in early into Globe DX or CCAI or Phoenix Flow or Bullish, it's not a really hard decision if you really have the long-term mindset for those types of projects. That's all it is. It's just, can you live with not seeing that money for a while? If you believe in that project, then you think of it as an investment. When I invest in equity into any project, I know I'm not going to see any return for usually 5 years. I have to wait 5 years because they're not going to go IPO yet. So that's what you have to understand. There's more to it than just the normal stuff. Now, looking over at Sharing. Okay, so Sharing met with the Prime Minister of what country? Australia. They have very deep ties already in Thailand. Governments, friendly governments. And look what Sharing's doing for us. What did I say would happen? It's likely going to range before breaking out and retesting and going higher. That's all it's doing. It's staying in the range, very much in the prediction that I had made. So that's okay. That's good. Sharing's good. We want it to stay in the range. What is another use case of KSM and DOT apart from the parachains? I mean, DOT is a whole entire ecosystem. So I mean, it's like asking why you use Ethereum. That's the same question, Kusha. So if it's like asking why you use Matic, it's like asking why you Sharing, it's like asking why you use Solana, why use BNB, right? They have their whole entire ecosystems, and they have their own communities, and they have their own people. And the idea of parachains and are basically to crowd loan, and basically people can fund the project together by locking up tokens. So it's a very different methodology. It's different. It's kind of like doing in some ways, some people could say it's kind of like doing a launch pad, right? But you're locking in tokens instead. And it's almost like farming. It's different, right? It's different. Is that bad or good? Honestly, I don't think there's an opinion on that. If you like DOT, you think it's great. If you love Kusama, you think it's great. If you don't, you probably think it sucks. Doesn't matter to me. To me, I look at it as great tech, letting us actually get onto like the DOT ecosystem, because all these projects are dying because they're waiting to actually have use case. So actually the DOT ecosystem and the KSM ecosystem needs to catch up to the actual development ecosystem that's being done right now. So question is from Crypto Freak. What do I think about P-Node? P-Node is very similar in nature to Massbit. I have invested in both of those. Why have I invested in both of these projects? I'll tell you why specifically. Infrastructure. When we go and we have projects that have strong infrastructure backing, regardless of the liquidity and all this stuff, they raised money to do what? To build the backbone, the infra of Polkadot. Basically to make it so Polkadot will work. Because when Inferior goes down for Ethereum, Ethereum stops working. So they wanted to make a very decentralized version of Inferior on DOT. And that's what P-Node is, and that's what Massbit is. Very cool projects, but infrastructure might take time. You have to be patient. And honestly, right now, my focus is on tier 1 infrastructure stuff. Things that are building that are not going to be ready tomorrow or in a month or a week. Probably things that are going to take 2 years to really be ready. These are the projects where you have to leave money for a long period of time. They are blue chips, but when they come out, you get like an instant 50x on 100 grand and you make a ton of money. But you have to be patient. Hence, what Warren Buffett always says, patience. Patient people take the money from the impatient and put it in their pocket. Your money, my wallet. Thank you. That's what happens. ShopX and IO. So ShopX, again, I've always told you guys, there's nothing more I can tell you other than it's got to bottom out, which it's doing. We got to let the market kind of figure itself out, and then things will start to pick up, but they have real stuff going for them. Okay. Remember, IOS, this is V2, V3 liquidity. It's not showing properly because I could right now sell $60,000 of IOS if I wanted to, and it would actually not take all the liquidity out. Something I showed you guys on with ShopX as well. So that's why it looks like that. Now, what I'm seeing is a potential bottoming out happening here. It is making a very small higher low. Okay. But what I am looking at and I'm seeing is it's going sideways. It's right in with what I'm thinking Bitcoin will do. So we'll have to just wait and see how that actually reacts. Can I research VLX? I'll have to look into that. And I will definitely take a look for sure. Anything with Jera Wallet, C3, anything in the cards ecosystem, these guys are really working hard to do a lot. And Jera, the whole concept of their wallet is to be a wallet that you don't need to figure out how to use. It's just like it works. You have it on your phone, you could send money. And my concept of a perfect wallet is this. Any blockchain, send it to my address. My address will be, let's say, coach at the wallet, right? Like Theo is doing. But for every blockchain and all you do, no matter what address, no matter what chain, it would say coach at the wallet or coach at wallet, something like that. And it would just send it to the right block, through the right blockchain, to the right part of my phone and do it all automatically. That will be the Amazon of wallets. And that will be the wallet that ends up bringing us to full adoption. Mark my words. I don't know if it's going to be Jero, but the wallet that I just explained, when we have one like that, that will be the end all of be all, the wallet that actually wins. It won't be MetaMask for sure. They don't have crap security. It won't be Math Wallet, I don't think. I think it will be a wallet that makes it so simple that you don't even need to think or ever worry that your money is going to the wrong chain or the wrong wallet. That will be the kicker for me. What do you guys think? That's my kicker for sure. Exchanges are the gas stations. You're the first I've heard who understands how important that is. Thank you. Well, Bo, honestly, exchanges are one of the only guaranteed projects that will have money revenue all the time. Why? Because people will always be trading and those fees will always be making money. Now, of course, if it's a crap exchange, they might end up going under, but on the real, good exchanges will never go under. They will continue making money, as always. So you asked about Marsh, and I'm going to go and check it. So let's just quickly check out Marsh. Unfortunately, Dex Tools doesn't let me like really set up my charts the way I want. So I have two requests from the crypto community, or the crypto atmosphere, and it's this. The first thing is, my first, very, very first important request is that they figure out the wallet situation. My second most important request is figure out the charting situation. Stop making me change my chart, whatever crypto it is. Don't make me change it from here. Just let me put in any coin, anywhere, any chain, and it finds it, and it does it just like my trading view, where I can set it all up and make it look all beautiful. If I can have that, I will literally fund that type of a project if you can make it, because I need it. It makes my life way easier. T-Fuel and that I've been crushing. So Marsh, how's Marsh been doing? Well, it bottomed out. It's starting to go on an uptrend, but we still don't have a clear level here. It would likely have to get to this level before I'd even look at even touching it, and that would be around $3.70, and we'd have to flip that level, meaning we'd have to get above $3.70, so above this level right here. And then I'd start going, okay, maybe this is going to actually come and go just only to here, basically, which would be the next level right around here, just a little bit lower than that. And that would be the next level. So we're looking for that $5. So that would be Marsh if you're looking to trade it. Then we go to T-Fuel and Theta. Theta, like, I love this coin, to be honest. I love, love, love Theta. And why? Let me just give you examples of why I love this coin. This coin did exactly what I was talking about the other day. So we were on the stream. I believe we were just around here. It was last week, and I talked about this, and I said, man, every time and I drew this way, way back here. We were over here, somewhere around here. It was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And I said, flat keychains like to pull the price like a magnet. What happened? It pulled it up like a magnet. Flat keychains are such an easy way to trade because you kind of have a guarantee that it's going to eventually get there. Even if it hooks down, doesn't matter. And we had that yesterday. So what I want to say is, I love projects that play into technicals so well. And this bounced off a 3 inside up off the 200-day EMA, which is pretty strong. Would have been a great entry at $7. We didn't see it there, though. We saw it up here. We were looking at it here before the weekend. And so we were looking at, let's enter here at $8 and go towards $9.95. I missed the trade, but that was a perfect one. Hey, coach, is there any way to subscribe to my fund? Basically, my fund will not be a public fund. It will be a private fund. And so there's only certain people that, and you guys know who you are that are watching, that will be allowed to go in that fund. And if that opens up, I would let people know, but it will be private. It will not be something public. Hey, coach from Greece. I have so many friends in Greece, man. You guys are the best. Love all the Eternity friends in Greece, too. There's so many. Guys, you wouldn't believe how many people never sold one token yet. A lot. There's a lot of people. And a bunch of them are friends of Nick's and mine and stuff. So that's good. I'm a big believer in energy, web token, Unreal partnerships. One of the biggest in crypto. I absolutely agree. That is why it's always on here. But they did farming. And this farming that they did and they started, one of my friends told me about it. When he told me about it, it was right around here. And so I was like, now I know that happened. So they had this energy web token farming that was going on. My friend messaged me about it. And he was making a killing. When he told me about that, I stopped looking at energy web token for a while because I'm waiting for that event to end. And now something about their decks, I can't remember the details. But when he told me that, I just didn't touch it. And that's why I'm still not there. Thoughts about BitCub Exchange. BitCub is Thailand's biggest exchange. They have their own chain. My thoughts are that I would never leave my crypto on there, and I always put it back on my Trezor and only use it in the past to cash out. So that's pretty much, that's my opinion on BitCub Exchange. Donkey Finance. So Donkey Finance, our good old Donkey Finance. Well, honestly, this thing should do really well in this type of a situation. Why? Because yield farming is a really good way to make money when the market's down. Simple as that. Let's see how Donkey's been doing. Ooh, Donkey's not doing so good. Hooey. So Donkey is definitely looking more like a sheep. But hey, you know, the wolf in sheep's clothing got it. So let's see what happens now. Honestly, that's a really, really harsh dump out, and I don't know how it will recover from that. But yeah, ouch. Don't know what to say about that, to be honest. So Saffron Finance, who is backing them? people asked me the same thing about Matic when it came all the way back down. They knew Coinbase was involved. They were like, oh, but it is crap. It's sand deeped. And then what happened? Sand deeped you, bro. Sand deeped you. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a project, had a really nice move, came all the way back down for a full retracement, and now it's going to come back up and come back down. So here's the thing with Saffron, right? They have version 2 coming out. When the bear market really does start, stuff that's in the DeFi sector, which has so many ties to so many projects like SFI, can do really well. But I would understand why people be worried. Remember, Coinbase has invested in this. They're not going to see this go to shit. But they would love to see it come back down before they get in and pick up more and go up. That I think they're all right. So MobiPay, big fan. Been involved in that project since they did their private sale when no one ever even wanted to raise private sales yet. So that's what's up. Okay, AVAX. Honestly, this is probably one of those where you guys even know. I flipped from BNB to AVAX. I didn't lose any money basically because if I held BNB, it'd be at the same. The average price that I bought versus now is about the same, so it's not horrible. But yeah, it definitely let me down for sure. I thought finally it was gonna break up, and you know what? That was a oversight, honestly, because it kept rejecting so many times. And I think maybe because I really like what they're doing, I wanted them to go up. So this was me when I made an emotional mistake, and you know. AVAX, that was a bad trade. Happens 35% of the time, 30 to 35% of the time, I make a bad trade. But because I only lose 1 R versus the 3 R I make in a good trade, it doesn't matter. I could, in reality, here's the crazy thing. I had a month during the bear market where I had a really bad streak. And in that month during the bear market, I had 30% of my trades hit. I only lost 7% of my whole portfolio. Why? Because the 30% that hit were averaging 2.75 R. And so in the end of the day, I didn't lose that much money, even in a horrible month where I literally could not have shot a fish in a barrel, right? So this happens to all traders. We look back and we learn and we grow. That's part of the game. All right. Do I like Akash? Yes. Love Akash. How would you compare Polkadot against Cosmos? It's a really good question where they're not exactly the same, but they are both blockchains, obviously. Cosmos has a completely different ecosystem. The way their validators work are different, but ultimately the goal is the same for both ecosystems. Really, when it comes to things like you like Solana or AVAX or Polkadot or Cosmos or, you know, Ethereum, which ones do you like? BSE? It doesn't matter. Because as long as, except mine is BSE, as long as it's decentralized and, you know, the fundamentals of trust in code, etc., are there, you know, the ecosystems are one versus the other. The only one that's not the same is Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is really meant to be a store of value. At least now it is. And maybe people can use it for DeFi and other stuff later, but right now that's what it's for. You got 50K. Can I put in that fund? Guys, my fund, that's something that's not even set up yet. So let's not talk about that right now. It is not important, and it is not something that is going to be public. So it's a private fund. All right, looking at L-Pool. L-Pool got launched on Kucoin, I believe. Let's see how it's been doing. It's had a really horrible go. You know, honestly, man, when I see projects like L-Pool and I see all the people that backed it and I see it do this, you know who backs L-Pool, guys? Let's just have a quick look. And I have nothing to say bad about I have nothing bad to say about the team or anything. They're all nice people. Everyone's great. But this is alarming because of one factor. This. How can you have this many? And this is not, I'm not blaming them, but how can you have all so-called top tier funds, right? And the price look like this. Now, I've sold L-Pool, right? And so you could say that technically I'm sort of to blame. Whatever, I sold some on the way up. I sold some every time we got in a little bit because I was in the private sale and I got it for 20 cents. So what did you expect? But here's the thing. I only sell when people are actually buying. I wasn't this person. That was probably funds. Honestly, no one else had the tokens. Maybe retail had tokens and dumped. That could possibly have been it too. But this is just so bad. It looks so much like an exit scam. It's so bad. Honestly, I expected better from that. And this is not their fault either. It just tells you that funds, retail, everybody was selling. It didn't matter. Everyone panic sells. They're all pussies the same way. Sorry, I gotta use French there, but it is what it is. All right, so I've got some questions in here. I got about 15 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I signed up on Binance, Coinbase, Kraken. What exchange do I believe I have an account with? I have an account with literally every exchange you possibly can think of. I have Bitmax, I have Huobi, I have Kucoin, I have OKX, I have FTX, I have Binance. I do them all, even Coinbase, even though I never really trade on there. I have it. So I don't really think it matters which exchange you trade on unless you're looking at fees. And when you're looking at fees, FXF will be cheaper than Binance by far. Just so you know. Let you know. It'll be cheaper than Binance. You guys should sign up. AVX will kill Cosmos. AVX is a really, really strong backing. Ava Labs, go look at who is the investors who are backing Ava Labs. You'll understand why I'm very bullish. ICP tanking because it's so expensive. Right? It hasn't proved a lot. It's been out recently and it's got great tech, but it still has to prove itself. And it's kind of like how Filecoin was when it first came out, where it seemed like it's a lot too high and needed to come back down to earth. And maybe L-Pool did that too, because it's still at like a 7x or something like that. All right, let's get some more questions. Koti. Koti is the most annoying coin if you ever wanted it to go up. Because it just goes back to certain levels, double topped and dies. It's really hard for this coin to really start to take off. But I mean, from where it started to where it's at now, at least on Binance's chart, not a horrible situation. But it just feels like Koti will never, ever, ever moon. It'll moon, but it will never really, truly moon. And it definitely won't safe moon. Any thoughts on Safe Moon? Any thoughts on dog coins or dick coin or vagina coin or whatever these things are? Guys, my thoughts are you chase those things and you get wrecked. If you go in them, you take profit fast and you get out. They are not things that you should take seriously ever. Ever. Zero. Okay? Don't take them seriously. I definitely don't. SATA is the future. SATA, you mean the SATA, the one that has, you mean like SATA, the coin that does, is that the one that's doing identity? Is that the one you're talking about? They definitely are good guys, definitely working on it hard, and it is what it is. So a lot of T-Fuel. Guys, don't spam, please. I will not answer if you spam, okay? If you see them, I will do it, but, you know, be cognizant that there's other people. So we talked about this yesterday, the breakout and what my level was going to go. You guys must love this shit. It's just awesome. Yesterday we're watching it. I'm telling you it's breaking out. This was live. What was this? Like not yesterday. It was a few days back. And I'm like, this is the zone that I like it to come into. You would think that I lied if you didn't watch this before sometimes, honestly. So T-Fuel, I mean, what do we have to say about T-Fuel? Looks like it's kind of done that move. It got to my level. Likely will come back down either to about, about 50 cents, maybe down to 42 before it goes on the next leg up. Or it will just get somehow more volume. But as we look at volumes here, we see that volumes, as we see the volumes here, they dissipated. They were there, they were there, they were there, they were gone. See? And so now we know that's a nice, what we call this candlestick. Does anyone know? Anyone know? A shooting star. We 2 shooting stars in a row at resistance and see you later. So that's what happened. There is your T-Fuel. TLOS on KuCoin. TLOS. Tolos. Ooh. We want to see this one break out. Okay, so there's a really nice one you could look for that breakout from. To clearly see that this is, in this type of a downward trend. And it wants to break out. It's like, I want to break out, man. Please let me out of this thing. So right now I'm seeing, just do this a little bit more accurately. So it's a weird one because it didn't really break out per se, but it's retesting. So it's kind of one of those, there's not enough volume to even touch this anyways. Look at this. This is like $100,000. Don't even touch this thing. If you see volume come in, you'd be waiting like on a 15-minute chart to look for like something that would show you something that represents any kind of volume. But I don't touch stuff like this because this is risky. You're having like $3,000 every 15 minutes is all their liquidity. I don't touch it. Nope, not for me. No thanks. Okay, let's get some Linky, baby. I love my Link. You know, Chainlink might be looking into investing into some projects. I would keep my eyes out for which ones they're looking at. Hey, look at that. See, all-time highs always come back. This turned into a support, though. Remember yesterday I was talking about Bitcoin 20,000 is like not really a level. This is a level because it came to it 3 times and then it came back to it yet again and retested it. So we know that was a level, and look where the price came right back to. I didn't draw this yet ahead of time. This was there from before. This is what I love about drawing support and resistance on a chart. It always loves to come back to certain levels. So we came into the zone, bounced it, got flattened out, pulled it up toward the Kijinsen. Now it's coming back down. So what are we looking for on Chainlink now? Is let's look at the 4-hour quick, because see, honestly, Chainlink doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough, like, how do I say this? It doesn't have enough volume, number one. The volume really kicked up, but then it just fizzled out. So bears are definitely winning. We're bearish on the short time frame. We're bearish on the high time frame. So I'd be looking to enter on a bearish trade. If we can get up to this Kijin and we went up to there, I would be looking to short around $26, $27, $26.5, $27. All right, question, Teller and Mirror. Teller, Uno coin, you can do the T. I don't know about Uno coin. Arweave. Let's check out Arweave. I haven't looked at Arweave for a bit. I know that it definitely came down from its high. Really down from its high. Kind of a typical Binance listing thing that happens. Then it usually bottoms out and goes higher. So on the 4-hour, it's almost bullish. It's getting very close to it. We're above the Kijin. We're above the candles. Love to see some volume pop into that. I might even put an alert on volume right there. So I want to see volume surpass these last few candles. So basically have more power coming out of this. And if we see that volume kick up and hit, I'm probably going to look to enter that on a long to, where are we going to look at long to? About, I'm going to look at this SR level potentially right around here. So maybe $21 would be a nice level as our first take profit. And then we'll look at other ones later. Okay. Is Ramp still good? I never liked Ramp, to be honest. What do I think of XAVA? I don't know what XAVA is, actually. I haven't been looking into that one, so I'll have to come and check that one again. Now, remember, Rune is probably like one of those projects that it's really hard for it to ever really lose. It's a great project. So what do we have here? Looking pretty bottomed out. Now it's kind of trying to break back higher. On the daily, let's see how it looks. Came down to the 200 EMA. You guys have seen this so many times on the daily on so many charts. It's probably like, oh, they probably all bounced that 200 EMA, didn't they? So we're looking here. If it comes up to this Tenkin and reverses off that Tenkin, I would love to see that as a short trade. It's not. Look, bearish, underneath the cloud, bearish Kumo twist. Lots of bearish signs on the daily. On the 4-hour, we're looking for bullish signs on a counter trend, and we have bearish. So that's where we know we're at. Has ShopX bottomed? I think so. It hasn't really gone much lower than 20 cents. So I think we're okay with ShopX, to be honest. Have a quick look. My mouth is starting to get dry, guys, and it's almost banter time. So you guys 5 minutes with me, then you guys got to go and watch that crypto banter, yo. Yeah, this 20 cent level, like, look, it's pretty much bottomed out. There's been allocations that came out. The liquidity is almost gone. Like, I think now they're just gonna let, if you want to sell it, they're probably like, sell it. Go ahead, just do it, because they have a war chest. The team, I know, I'm an advisor They have the money to develop everything they said, and it will come back. And remember, this at 20 cents, it's almost a 5x private sale still. Private sales, 5x still. Everyone made money with it. No one can complain about that unless they bought it high, obviously. Erwan. Okay, so I'm waiting for Sif Chain like a fiend. I have a huge allocation for it. Really, really big fan. Thorchain. If you're in Thorchain, you should probably look at the Sif Chain as well. And that's really what it comes down to. So Erwan, how's it doing? Well, like everything else, people sold off heavily and the price suffered. Very likely this liquidity is also moved and migrated over. Now, what I'm seeing here is a clear bottom potentially. Potentially because it could definitely go lower depending on the market. But what we see here is that it came down to this level many times and it really doesn't like breaking below it. That being said, that doesn't mean anything and it definitely could go lower. So just keep that in mind as well. What about ETH? Okay, absolutely. Can we look at Panther Swap token on BSC Chain or Poo token or Dex Guru? We could, but I'm running out of time, so we'll have to do that next time. So definitely come back. Guys, definitely subscribe and like the video to help me help you so that I can get it. And, I can get out to more of you because the more of you I can reach out to, the more I can help. And that's mostly my only major piece of the puzzle. So let me just do one thing really, really quick. Someone asked about ETH. Great question. What do we see? Very similar stuff to yesterday. So ETH still has it's still technically in a bearish TK cross below the cloud, and our Chiku is bearish. So on our 4 hour, we're not looking so good. Remember what I told you guys about clouds? It likes to do this. It likes to do that for some weird reason. That being said, if we can go like this and pop through, that would be very good for the 4 hour. It would make the 4 hour more bullish. What about the 6 hour? 6 hour, we popped into the cloud. We don't really have a perfect setup, but actually this could turn into an edge to edge. So that's a bullish sign. Next one, 8 hour. How do we look there? Not so bullish, not so bearish either though. We're 10 above the Kijin, which is bullish, right? Our Chiku span, not so much. We're below the cloud, so not so perfect. So we're getting closer as you can see us go through the time frames. That's a good thing. Doesn't mean we're ready yet, but it means that things aren't looking so bad. But remember, we went through the cloud. We have a bearish TK cross. We're bearish on the Chiku. We're below the cloud now and bearish retesting. So this doesn't mean we're in the clear. This actually doesn't mean much. And we could definitely do something like I showed you with Bitcoin, where we go down, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go up. We could see this, do this, like I said, into July before we break out. Same thing going to happen for Ethereum if it does it to Bitcoin. All right, let's end this stream. So thank you so much for all being here. I know this was a little bit of a longer stream, and I'm going to start bringing on guests. So if you guys are like, oh man, coach, you should bring on some friends and talk to them and like argue with them and stuff, so it's funny, we'll do that. It's going to be great. So I can't wait to do that with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Go watch Banter, get your bants on, go win yourself a Banter bag. I will potentially be doing something similar. So keep your eyes to the prize. And if you guys want a pair of these killer shades, I got a bunch of brand new ones. We're giving 10 away at the end of the month. Do message Coach K Crypto Team, Coach K Crypto Team at Gmail. We are going to be taking a bunch of those. We're going to put them into a draw and we're going to pick a bunch of winners because that's fun. And we like giving you stuff for free. All right. One other thing, when my YouTube hits 25,000 viewers, the next live stream I do, I am going to give away an allocation to a project that is launching today. $1,000 worth. So you guys are here and you're listening. Don't miss the next live stream. Tell all your friends because I'll be giving away $1,000 of CCAI. Yes, sir. That's going to happen. Peace.